Lymphoma is a hematological malignancy that affects the blood cells, that is lymphocytes. Lymphocytes or white blood cells are part of the body's immune system. Lymphoma affects the lymph nodes and other types such as the spleen, liver, and bone marrow. World Lymphoma Awareness Day is held on September 15 every year and is a day dedicated to raising awareness of lymphoma, an increasingly common form of cancer. It is a global initiative to raise awareness about lymphoma. Around the world, more than 7,35,000 people are diagnosed with lymphoma every year. We at MediCircle are conducting the World Lymphoma Awareness Day series to impart basic knowledge and encourage people to know about lymphoma to detect cancer at an early stage. Hello, I'm Aprajita Mehra, and today our guest for the talk is Dr. Karuna Kumar. Dr. Karuna Kumar is a clinical consultant endowed with clinical and academic experience encompassing hematology, hemato-oncology, and bone marrow transplantation. He is currently working at Yeshoda Hospitals and Oxy Clinics at Secunderabad. He has done treatment and management of refractory anemia, ITP, aplastic anemia, myelodysplastic syndrome, bleeding and clotting disorders, leukemia, lymphoma, multiple myeloma, CML, myeloproliferative disorders, blood and bone marrow transplantation. Welcome to MediCircle, Dr. Karuna Kumar. How are you today, sir?
Yeah, doing good.
We are really privileged to have you joining on Dr. Speak today at MediCircle. Sir, my first question to you would be, what is lymphoma and what is the difference between leukemia and lymphoma?
Okay. So lymphoma is nothing but it's a type of blood cancer. So blood cancers are of usually three types: leukemias, lymphomas, and myeloma. So first I speak about the difference, then you'll understand, properly what's a lymphoma is. So basically all these cancers or blood cancers arise from white blood cells. So we have white blood cells in our blood, and also these white cells are located in a structures called lymph nodes. So we all know tonsils, right? So tonsils are a kind of lymph node. So we have similar nodes in our body, like in the neck area, in the axilla, inside the thorax, inside the abdomen and inguinal area. So white cell basically provides defense system, they protect us from infections. Similarly, even lymph nodes which have white cells in them, they also have a mainly immune system as their function. Okay. So cancers arising out of these white cells are blood cancers. If the cancer is restricted to the lymph nodes, okay, so then it's called lymphoma. Okay. If the cancer happens to the cells which are in the blood, it's leukemia. Okay, leukemia basically there are cancer cells flowing in your blood, whereas lymphoma, these cancer cells are confined to the lymph nodes, so they are not spilled into the blood. Okay, this is the basic difference between leukemia and lymphoma. Yeah.
All right. So now that you've explained the difference, so lymphoma, the problem with the nodes kind of cancer, this has many types. So what are those types and how do they affect people?
So lymphomas, as I told you, it's a cancer of lymph nodes. There are usually two types of lymphomas. So broadly divided into Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Hodgkin's lymphoma is a kind of narrow category where we have 4 subtypes in it. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma kind of bigger group. There are nearly 50 different types of lymphomas in it. So basically these are divided based on the microscopic appearance, how they appear under the microscope. That is one point. The other points are like how aggressive they are. Okay, the markers which they expressed on the cancer cells. Okay, a lot of genetic parameters are there. There are many points which helps us in classifying lymphomas into Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Not only these things, the way they behave, the outcomes, the cure rates, the response rates are also different between Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
All right. And just what are the symptoms of lymphoma?
Okay. So symptoms, as I told you, this is a cancer arising from the lymph node, right? So what is blood cancer basically? It's an uncontrolled proliferation of cells, right? So when a cell multiplies unwantedly, excessively, So we see unusual growth, right? Normally we have lymph nodes in our body which are located in the neck, and as I told you, in the other areas. Normally these are not palpable enough. You cannot feel that normally. So, but when there is a lymphoma, there is excessive growth of white cells in these nodes. Usually we tend to palpate those nodes. The nodes become much bigger. So first and most common symptom in lymphoma is palpable enlarged lymph nodes. Okay. So there are other symptoms, depending on the location of the lymph node now. So the lymph nodes which are located in the abdomen, inside the thorax, if they start compressing vital structures inside our body, then symptoms will be related to those, dysfunctions. Apart from these, cancer per se have certain symptoms, like persistent fever, weight loss, loss of appetite, night sweats. So these are also few symptoms where we can see in lymphomas.
So I think for a person to recognize that if he at all feels that there are certain symptoms of cancer, so those were the the physical things that he can visibly observe.
Not enlargement of lymph node is not a cancer. So most common cause is infections. Okay. So infections are always the first cause when a node is enlarged. So when you have node palpable under your chin, so don't need to panic that it's a cancer. Most probably that lump would be a non-cancerous, maybe secondary infective. That's more common than cancers. See, not only the lump. So how many lumps are there? So what is the age of the patient? What are the other symptoms associated? These are all the other features which will help us in picking lymphomas.
So what you mean to say is that one should not panic if they feel any, grown node or something in their body, and they suddenly get scared that what is this kind of, protrusion or whatever they're feeling inside. And they should ideally seek a doctor, go for a proper diagnosis, go for, testing of that node. And then they would be eventually told whether, even if they do have something like that, it not necessarily be maligned or, be causing cancer at all. So that was such a relief for many patients who might have something very harmless in them. So is there any cure for lymphoma, sir?
Yeah, definitely. The blood cancers. So when we hear the word blood cancer, the first thing which comes to your mind is it curable?
Right.
Am I going to live long time? These are the questions which ponder every patient. So, but if you look at the cancers, blood cancers per se, not each and every cancer is dangerous. Okay. There are many cancers which can be cured. Okay, there are cancers which can be treated with just a simple tablet.
Okay.
Few blood cancers, if they are not symptomatic, so we can just observe them. Okay.
All right.
So coming to lymphomas, low-grade lymphomas which are not symptomatic, just we can wait and watch. No need to treat. Okay. Low-grade lymphomas if they don't have symptoms. So in case other lymphomas and high-grade lymphomas, and depending on the subtype of lymphoma, so we can expect cure rates up to 90% in these patients. Okay. So especially this can be seen in Hodgkin's lymphoma, where the cure rates are high. The response rates, the control rates are high. So when coming to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, it's not as high as Hodgkin's, but decently good enough control rates are there. We can expect up to 60 to 70% of remission rates in these NHLs, non-Hodgkin lymphomas.
So that is actually some bright news for patients that they can always hope for a cure for lymphoma. It's not something which would, it's a doomed kind of a disease that they might have, feared or are afraid of. So thank you so much for coming and, dispelling so many myths and, regarding this big issue. Any word associated with cancer brings out panic between patients and, they are least prepared to handle it. And how wonderfully you explained it in most simple words. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming on our show and giving your valuable time and insight with us at VeriCircle. So it was really a pleasure having you on this show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.